Hello, everybody. How's it going? Dana with Sullivan Family Homestead here, and it has been so long since we've done a Facebook or a YouTube live. This entire live stream system is so different. It's very cool, actually. Hey, how's it going? Big Bear's in the house. Is it Jason or Miss Robin or both? Hey, Incense Shop, how's it going? So it has been forever since we have been on a YouTube live. I've actually never used this new live system on YouTube, and oh my gosh, is it so easy to get in here and do this. I am loving it. Suburban's in here. Hey girl, how's it going? So are you guys able to hear me okay? Is the volume good? Too loud? Not loud enough? What's up? Gonna step up to my challenge. Who and what challenge, Jason? Hey, Allie Oakley, how's it going? So, gosh, we have not been on here in so long, and we've not vanished, I promise. We've just been so busy with life and work and everything, and things are changing around here so much. So we've really just kind of put the online presence on the back burner a little bit, and I'm really sorry about that. We didn't mean to push you guys off or anything. We've just, life's been busy, and so there's been a lot of work to do and a whole lot of stuff going on. And then I don't know if maybe some of you saw on Facebook that some of you may have saw on Facebook that my parents' house burned down last week. And so that's presented a whole new world of challenges for us to get rid of and deal with. So, we've just been crazy busy. And as soon as we get a minute, something else happens. So it's just, but, gosh, hey, there's a lot of folks in here. Bandana, how's it going, love? Mary Cleveland, hey there, how's it going? Robin has her own channel, can't post the channel link. It's called The Working Momsteader. I had seen that, but I haven't seen them on there. Couples Yoga Challenge. You're out your mind. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I'm going to tell Matt that one. He's going to laugh like I am now. Ain't nobody wanting to see us trying to do yoga, my friend. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Go watch the video and make one. No, that's gonna be bad. I might break something. Oh my gosh. See, I've been gone so long I didn't even know this was going on. I'm sorry. Oh, Patty and Tommy did one too. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Okay, I will definitely check it out. Oh my gosh. I would definitely break something, probably my husband. See, that's what I'm saying. Oh, that's funny. Thank you for the laugh. Oh gosh. So let me tell you guys a little bit about what's been going on with us lately. Well, winter's coming on and it's getting colder. And, of course, I'm not going to complain too much because we're in East Tennessee, so it's not really cold yet as opposed to those in the northern states. But it's cold for here. In fact, it's cold for here for this time of year based on the last couple of years anyway. So we, as is the case for the last few years, gone straight from summertime to a couple of days of, oh, that's nice, to holy crap, it's cold again. So the volunteer garden went really well, surprisingly. We had like 12 or 13 tomato plants that were total volunteers. We had a couple of pepper plants. We had the loofah, of course. We had a couple of watermelon vine, and that was really cool because those watermelon were probably the best watermelon we've had. So naturally, we saved all the seeds, and really impressed with the amount of things that came back this year. And of course, that being said, you know that all of those things in the garden are there because we were lazy gardeners at the end of the last year's growing season. Um, so there's that. But it worked out well, and it's actually got me thinking about how to really make this volunteer garden idea work for us in a way that requires little to no effort. I mean, this whole year, we didn't pluck weeds, we didn't prune anything, we didn't even really stake up the tomatoes either. I mean, we're talking about tomato plants growing wild and free like vines on the ground, primarily. And we didn't do much. Now, it begs to be said that we really didn't have as much produce as we had, you know, staking up the plants and pruning them and all of that stuff. I mean, so there is that. However, considering we didn't plant seed, we didn't pluck weeds, we didn't dig trenches, we didn't do anything. This was just free food that was in the garden already. That was a win. So that was pretty cool. Hey, Duncan Homestead, Miss Brenda, Mr. Paul, how are you guys doing? So that was really cool. We learned a lot about that, and are working on how we can make that more proactive and more beneficial to us and still not have to do so much work with it. So that garden aside, we started the little box garden in the backyard. There was actually a video on that one, just a little backyard garden. I can't remember what the dimensions of it, like 2.5 or 3 foot by 5 foot, 6 foot raised bed, and that was it. Little Creek Homestead, how's it going? So we did that little raised bed, and then there was a 3x3 box beside it. We grew snap peas for Hannah. We grew a lot of rainbow carrots. We grew a couple of tomatoes. We grew a cucumber, and it was really cool. The boxes were small, but we kind of followed that square foot gardening method sort of in there. We had all of those things in those small spaces, and they were wonderful. I mean, they were absolutely wonderful. It worked out so well. So that was really encouraging, because do you know how easy it is to maintain the garden when it's only like 9 foot total by 3 foot wide? I mean, it was amazing. One of the things that I found out when I was driving back and forth into town midsummer is that one of the folks in our neighborhood, and I say neighborhood loosely, you know, like 4 miles down the road and around the corner, they were growing some form of melon on their fence. And I'm talking like watermelon hanging on their fence towards their pasture, you know, like in between their house and their pasture. And every time I drove by, I made it a point to check it out and see how it was doing. And I mean, melons on there, a bunch of them. So I keep meaning to stop by and talk to them and see if it's something that they typically do or if it was something they've tried for the first time and how they thought it went. But I thought it was pretty cool. So anyway, that was pretty much it. And then, yes, exactly. Little Creek. You're right. Little Creek Homestead says when you live out in the country, the neighborhood is way bigger. Yes, way bigger. So when there are, 15, 20 houses in a 12, 18-mile radius, yeah. So, but anyway, we learned quite a bit about gardening stuff this year. Always learning, always moving forward, always trying new things. And the reason why I'm bringing up all of this gardening stuff is that this came in the mail today. And I don't know, did anybody else get it yet? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But anyway, I'm trying to rein it in and get a grip because, what happens ultimately is I get super excited about all of this different produce and I get carried away and we get everything planted, but then it takes so much effort to get it weeded out and cleaned up and everything else. And we just don't have time for it right now. And, I don't know yet if Mom is going to end up moving down here or if she's staying in Iowa. We still don't know. If she does move, now is the time because they literally lost absolutely everything. So they did get another house, so they're renting it instead of buying, but for right now it's fine. It's good shelter and it's a good clean house. So they have a house to live in and they've been collecting odds and ends of things here and there, and there's been a wonderful community that's helped them with some spare furniture and things like that. So they're making it and they're getting settled in. So they don't really have a whole lot yet. So it would still be good for them to go ahead and come if they were going to. But I'm not sure that they will. They kind of like it up there, so we'll see. But, we've got all this stuff going on. Matt's working. Of course, he's still on the fire department. I had started a new business last year. Some of you guys may remember me talking about Stampin' Up, which is a paper crafting business. And I've really been working hard at that and making a good go of it. And one of the things that I might implement here is kind of incorporating a little of that business, but I know that this is a homestead channel, and even though that stuff is part of our homestead, it's not necessarily part of people's homestead in general. But I did make a YouTube channel for it. So any of you that are watching, if you're interested in seeing some of my paper crafting stuff, you can search Stampin' Chick, Stampin' Up. And I'm not sure if I can get a YouTube video for you guys or the channel link or whatever. Suburban, I'm not sure if you could find that for me and post it on here if you're still in here. Anyway, I've really been trying to get the business going and it's been going well. But just like any new business, it takes a lot of my time and effort. And so I don't have as much time and effort to put towards the gardening and things like that. So there's that. Another thing is that we are constantly evaluating cost versus return here on the homestead. And we are spending a lot of money on the animals. And so it's caused us to evaluate that sort of thing too. And so the last time, well, since the last time we did a live stream, we've downsized our chicken flocks by half. At one point, I had almost 60 chickens. And as you guys know, they're all my babies. I mean, I'm the chicken lady. And you guys have watched the videos from Pip, my little baby chick that we hatched live, actually. He got to hatch live on YouTube. And you guys have kind of seen him grow. And he grew up enough to need his own flock of girls. And so he got our laying girls. That was his flock. And my 2 white Brahma girls were also incorporated into that flock. And Little Creeks ended up with a lot of chickens. Well, so my focus has kind of shifted a little bit, and I really wanted to keep the Brahmas and Pip, but I couldn't keep them and incorporate them with the other 2 small flocks because it wouldn't have been fair. So what was that? A few weeks ago, we sold Pip and the 2 girls and our entire flock of the big girls to a friend of ours who desperately wanted to have chickens and was so excited to have them and really wanted a flock of his own. And so we went ahead and just sold all of them to him, and with that went Pip and the 2 white Brahmas, and I cried a lot. But when you've got a ton of chickens, and like Little Creek says, they are getting 14 eggs a day now, and they had 40 chickens. We were getting, and most all of ours are hens, and we were getting well over 2 dozen eggs every single day. And, we sold eggs, but a lot of folks out in the country have chickens and have their own eggs too. And so we would end up with a lot of spare eggs. So we're making quiche and custard and cakes and freezing them. And, there was so much, and it doesn't counterbalance the cost of their feed. So, we are very cognizant of the kind of stuff that we feed the chickens and the animals on the farm in general. And so, we pride ourselves on the fact of being organic. And so feed is a lot more expensive than just a bag of laying crumble from the co-op or Tractor Supply. So, the cost of taking care of that many chickens versus what we were getting as a return from selling the eggs just wasn't balancing out. So we had to make the decision to get rid of some of the chickens, and we had the big flock of girls with Pip and the Brahmas, and then we had the Easter eggers and my pair of Americanas together in a coop, and we had the blue copper Morans in the other coop. And I love the Easter eggers. I love Pip and my Brahmas too, more than the Easter eggers, but I can't just have those 3 and the Easter eggers, because then it's building a whole nother coop for 3 chickens, and Matthew would kill me. Plus, the big girls really needed Pip to go with them because he was the only rooster in that whole flock. So then we're talking about just keeping the 2 Brahmas, and then that's just silly. So yeah, Matthew would have absolutely had a cow if I had kept them. So, it just it wasn't. Oops, sorry. It just wasn't. It wasn't conducive to keep them. So, I got to put the big girl panties on and do what homesteaders need to do and do the right thing. And so they're gone, and now we have about 20. What do we have left? 22 chickens left, I think. So, and there's still two separate flocks. So we rotate them, totally free range every other day. And now, because it's wintertime and the horse's pen is totally barren and completely picked clean, and when it rains, it's a mud puddle. Instead of getting another pen set up, which we haven't done yet because that's a matter of, buying fencing and posts and then building another shelter and all of these wonderful things that cost a lot of money that we don't have right now. We've just been closing off the entire property down at the gate and just letting the horses roam the rest of the unfenced property, which has been good for the cost of feeding, because then we're just, giving them just a little bit of grain in the evening to kind of keep them warm. But that also means that, we're going around with the lawn tractor and scooping poop out of the yard. So there's that. So there's always this constant counterbalance back and forth business. So there's that. Buster, the mini, is quickly outweighing his usefulness if we don't do something with him. So we had talked many times about putting him into our own little program of doing birthday parties and things like that, because he is saddle broke and fairly civilized around little people. So we're talking about that as kind of an extra little income. And basically that would help provide his expenses and take care of him. And if we're lucky, maybe help pay for the big girl's expenses and whatnot too. So that's not coming out of pocket, which would be fabulous. And then we still have the ducks, and they are probably getting ready to go to freezer camp. We've had a few of our friends that have been asking to buy some for Christmas dinner, and thinking that maybe we'll go ahead. We only had the 5 to begin with, so maybe we'll go ahead and just butcher all of them, and because we can sell each of them for a reasonable price, and then keep a couple for ourselves. And then start over with them again in the spring if we want to. So we may do that. I haven't totally decided on all of them. Well, that's not true. I have decided. We decide that it needs to be done. I just keep saying that I'm going back and forth because I can't keep my head straight right now. And then we still have the Angora goats, and we have the Angora rabbits. And so I'm still getting fiber from them, and I'm still doing processing and some yarn. In fact, you can see all of that hot mess is fiber processing and yarns and things like that. So Little Creek says, my Easter eggers have not started laying yet. She has a few roosters to send to freezer camp. Yeah, I have one out of the batch. And incidentally, they're really lucky that I don't know which one it is, but one of my girls isn't laying a colored egg. She's laying a plain, kind of creamy light brown egg. But I have no idea which one she is. So, which is fortunate for her, because one random light brown egg out of dark brown eggs and blue-green shades of eggs, I would absolutely either cull or ship her away, which is horrible to say, isn't it? But I have this thing in my mind of what I want, and so but yeah, the Easter eggers are a lot of fun. They are quite possibly my absolute favorite chickens. I love their personality. It's awesome. So hold on just a second. There we go. So had to get a little cleanup going on. That's all, guys. There we go. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. Anyway, so Suburban says check insurance first. So yeah, the basic rule of insurance with equine in Tennessee is that as long as there is the disclaimer being made of, riding at your own risk and all of that wonderful stuff, then there isn't an actual liability as far as that goes. However, we have, with our homeowners insurance for the farm, we have all of the extra. Thank you, Suburban. I appreciate that. We have all of the extra riders and whatnot to cover for the animals and things for our homeowners insurance. So if we do it here, it's not an issue anyway. It would cover as far as that goes. Excuse me. Don't do that. That's weird. Sorry, getting on with the dog. But you know what I'm talking about, Suburban. There's a Tennessee code something for covering equestrians and riding and whatnot, riding at your own risk and all of that. So we can thank the National Walking Horse Association, or whatever it's called, for that little thing there. So it doesn't worry about any of that stuff. So I think it'll be okay. But anyway, Matt and I would always be together as far as that's concerned. We've done a couple of our friends riding and things like that for our friends' kids. One of them, we did a birthday party, and the kids all had a great time. And it was kind of where we got the idea from, because honestly, you'd think that we would have thought of something like that in the first place, but it's amazing how you can miss certain opportunities that you didn't even think about, because it's just not something that you do every day or whatever. And then somebody says something, oh, we'd really wish that we knew somebody that could do pony rides or something. And you go, oh, wait a second, I can do that. So it's kind of how that happened. And we took him out there, and I don't know how many kids there were, but they did a great job. They had a lot of fun. And the only thing that I would do differently in that case is that there were some older kids that we had to kind of be careful about, if they were too big to ride, because he is just a mini. So I think that probably if we were going to do this as an actual thing, that we would take Abby, my walking horse, out with us. So that way, if there were bigger kids or if grown-ups wanted to take a ride, they could. So that way, nobody's excluded or anything, we can have fun. So, but, oh, thank you, Miss Brenda. I hope you enjoy it. It's quite a bit different, actually, than doing these videos. For one thing, I'm here doing live stream with you guys, but I haven't shown my face in those crafting videos. I've got the camera pointed down at my hands and I'm working, whatever the project is. So I really kind of like that too. So anyway, other than that, Hannah has really been working hard and staying busy. She's in honors and dual enrollment classes this year, and she's only a freshman, which I say only a freshman. It still blows my mind that she's a freshman at all. But so she's been really busy with that and kind of getting a little overwhelmed at times. So we just kind of have to woosah. So we know that it's all worth it in the end, but it's a lot more work than the regular classes are. So she's been super busy with that. The dogs are still being the dogs. And otherwise, there's really nothing else, nothing exceptional anyway. So Brenda says she's getting ready to make some Christmas crafting videos. That's awesome. I know that there are a lot of folks on our subscribers list that do craft, and a lot of people that I watch, a lot of homestead channels that I watch, post a lot of crafting. And well, for example, Little Creek Homestead, Miss Renee posts quite a bit of crafting and food type videos and things like that. And we love watching that stuff. I don't know. It feels weird to me. Maybe like because Stampin' Up! Is my business, I don't want to feel like I'm, pushing my business on you or pushing sales or whatever. But, I wouldn't want to do anything like that. But at the same time, if you are interested in that kind of stuff, then I'd like to be able to share it with you. So, I'll try to find a happy medium and see if I can get some things posted on here. But I actually think that maybe I'll just mention that channel on here now and then. And so that way, if you're interested in the paper crafts, you can go over there. And if you're interested in the yarn spinning and crochet and other crafts like that, I'll try to do more of that stuff on here, because that stuff seems to me more like homestead crafts, and it's probably just me being silly, but I just don't want anybody to think that we've turned into a business exclusively or something here on YouTube. I really enjoy chatting with you guys, and when Matt has a minute, he enjoys chatting with you guys, and we absolutely love our subscribers and whatnot, and really like interacting with y'all. But we don't want anybody to feel like we're pushing anything or anything like that. So Duncan Homestead says, I always make a lot of gifts with stuff I find at the Dollar Tree. That is super cool. I really like that. So that kind of stuff I think is just awesome. And especially this time of year, that's really cool. So we've done a little bit of crafting stuff. Matthew built our fireplace, our mantle. It's got an electric fireplace in it, which is kind of like cheating. It's not a real fireplace per se, but the living room is directly above Hannah's bedroom, and since it wasn't a fireplace in there in the first place, the idea of turning it into a real wood burning fireplace versus just leaving it electric, seeing as how it's directly above Hannah's bedroom, is just, I'm totally fine with the electric fireplace. But the mantle, the entire thing, was actually brought out of a house that was built in the early 1800s. And the fireplace mantle, there were two of them together, were built for the house. So the mantle dates early 1800 or late 1700 into early 1800, somewhere in there. which I think is super, super cool. And then Matthew added bookcases to each end of it. And I had thought that we had some video coverage. I had intention of making a little video on it and posting it, but then it turns out that I didn't have any video on it, but I have some photos, and I'm not sure if any of them got posted to our Sullivan Family Homestead page or not. So I'll have to check and see. And if they didn't, I'll post them. But either way, I'll go ahead and post a couple of the pictures that I took for our Christmas decorations, because one of the wonderful things about having that fireplace now is that I've got this gorgeous mantle to decorate for Christmas. So, so we've got it all decorated up, and then I made this cute little banner that says "Believe," and it's got, you know, burlap and all that stuff. So, it was super cute. But hey, Julie, how's it going? My friend Julie's on here. So anyway, there's just been a lot of stuff going on, and we've just been super busy. And I took on a part-time job, and it's just a few hours a week, but it gets me out of the house and helps with a little bit of the extra money that we need here and there and stuff. So yeah, we've just been super, super busy. So I'm really sorry that we've kind of neglected you guys. I hope that you don't think we don't love you anymore. We'll try really hard to get back on a routine schedule of live streams and stuff. But until then, just if you're on Facebook, go like our Facebook page, Sullivan Family Homestead. And if you're on Instagram, go like our Instagram. I think it's just Sullivan Family Homestead. You ought to be able to search it there. But I'll try to get the links and post them down here or something. But, you know, those are a little more accessible because it's quick and easy. And in the midst of the day, when something happens, I can take a picture and I can post it and share a little bit about what's going on in our day. So you're probably going to see that more often than you're going to see regular videos. If you do see videos, we'll try to do more of them, but they're probably going to be more like a live video showcasing what we're doing. Maybe not necessarily these live chats like we're doing right now, but you know, like the video I did for that little garden in the backyard, it was just a quick little live video talking about it. It didn't require any editing. It was just natural and real and all the good and the bad. So probably we'll be doing a lot more of that kind of stuff as opposed to, you know, with any fancy editing and intros and exits and all that stuff. So I hope that you guys will be okay with that. At least on that note, you know, everything's totally real and real life and how it happens, and you know, no pretense of anything. But you know, taking the time to edit videos and stuff, it really does take a lot of time. So if you watch channels that have these press dressed and beautiful videos, take the time to give them a thumbs up, because those videos take a lot of time to edit. Even when you don't do a lot of editing in the midst of it, the intros, the exits, putting all the tags in them and everything else, it's just crazy, absolutely crazy. So anyway, it's just one of those things that we really don't have a whole lot of time for in the midst of doing all of our day-to-day stuff that we do, stuff that you guys want to see. So, but you know, we may have to just keep it raw and real. But anyway, it's about 5 minutes till 9, and unless I'm mistaken, I believe Pratt Family still comes on at 9 o'clock. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here so that we don't overlap their live stream, and I will I will let y'all go, and hopefully I'll see you guys again soon. But check us out on Facebook and Instagram and say hello there so that I know who you guys are. And until next time, we'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.